Today is June 7th, Sunday, June 7th, and I'm going to do a Celtic Cross tarot reading for you today. I'm doing this for myself, so it will be a personal message to me. And my question, as I prepared to do this reading, my question was and is, how did the Friday lunar eclipse, the lunar eclipse in the full moon of Sagittarius, what did it mean for me? What did it mean as far as how I am encapsulating this energy, how I'm utilizing this energy? What does it reveal about my current life and even possibly what's coming up for me in the future? It's interesting to note that the last time the eclipse cycle happened on the Gemini Sagittarius axis was in the 2001-2002 cycle. So for those of you who are old enough that you can recall back to the issues that came up for you besides 9/11, 9/11, what other things were affecting you personally at that time? It might be information that you can look at in readings that you're doing for yourself. But anyway, I will proceed by not speaking so much about astrology, but getting into the Celtic Cross reading. So I already drew the cards, and I will scan and show you the Celtic Cross reading right now. So I'm lowering my camera, and the first card is the Knight of Cups. Ace of Swords is the Cross Current card. The 10 of Cups is in conscious thoughts. In the subconscious is the King of Swords. The Passing Away card, or the Past Lesson Learned, is the Star. Future is the Hangman card, the Major Arcana Hangman card, the number 12. And Self-Image card is the Queen of Cups. Then we go to the Four of Swords that showed up in the environment surrounding the person, which is me, the Queen of Cups here. Going into Hopes and Fears is the 9th card pulled. And we end with the Knight of Wands. So I'm going to try to lift this up without doing too much jiggling, and see if I can get the whole kind of cards pulled so we can see how they're laid out and displayed. This is the Celtic Cross part. This is the last 4 cards. So let's go back to the beginning. The first card in a Celtic Cross reading usually and always will pertain to a key theme, a key message that is really going to guide the person receiving the reading, and you as you are doing a reading. It will guide you to a certain key theme in the life of this person, because all tarot readings, whether they're for yourself or another person, will relate to something personally, maybe a key issue, could even be a karmic thing. So I'm going to talk about the King of Cups as the significator card. What does this mean to me as far as an import for how to understand what the lunar eclipse held for me? And the King of Cups, the whole suit of cups is, I really feel kind of the almost an atmosphere of nurturing. Cups is emotions. Emotions can go all over the place. Um, they could be sad. They could be morose, but they can also be happy and feelings of joy. So, Knights as a court card usually comes up for me. Knights with some sort of action. And in the court cards, we have the page, we have the knight, we have the queen, and then we have the king. And each phase of the court cards signifies a different sort of energy that is personal energy. And as we've discussed before, the court cards usually are something person, like they represent a person or the person doing the reading. In the case of Knights of Cups, I'm looking at this as a really initiating some guiding by the heart, so to speak. It's a Knight of the Hearts. It's interesting. One can see elements of water on the knight's uniform with the fish. And I know for me, so I can say this personally, and I might not address this so directly with someone I'm doing a reading for that I may not know as well. But I really feel that the key message coming up with this significator card, the key message of this reading is about leading with one's heart, really being in tune and intuitive to the needs of others, but coming forward with love. So that's a huge message, and I really think it does have a key significance, and we'll see with the rest of the reading. So the next card that comes up is usually perpendicular. It will kind of look like it will sit perpendicular to this first card. Sorry about the jiggling. I'm trying to hold my phone camera and show you the spread as well. So the cross current card, or the helper card, is the Ace of Swords. Ace, as we know, is the very first card in the suite of swords. And we have 4 suites, whether it's cups that we just left as a suit. And I'm sorry, I'm going from suite to suit. I'll let you choose the one that you prefer. So the Ace of Swords is the second suit that is kind of emerged in this reading, and it's easy to always remember the import of swords, meaning words. Words, our thinking, our mental state. And with the Ace of Swords, what I'm getting is a strong message that the Knight of Cups is really going to be helped moving forward. This action of spinning my focus or my action and my emotions on my heart. In other words, leading with a heart-centered approach to my life. The Ace of Swords indicates to me that there's going to be a new way that I think about my actions and think about my life passage. It might even be, I might do things differently. I might be kind of shifting a little bit with kind of the work that I do. Not that this is a pentacle card saying something about my work, but when I think of my action, I think mostly of my life purpose. So the Ace of Swords could be really the helper card that is saying, hey, this is how we're going to go forward. So moving to the third card in a CelticCross reading, it's in the position of conscious thoughts. And conscious thoughts, the card, the Ten of Cups came up. So again, in this any of the suits, the 10 is the last actual number of the suits, so it goes from ace to 10. And 10 is a completion, but it's greater than the completion of a 9. It's really, really going out into kind of a feel of a whole community, or in this case, we're definitely seeing a family. And having all the cups in this beautiful rainbow, to me, is, really great joy. So what is this saying to me? What's going on in my conscious thought that is coming to the surface of this reading? And I feel that my thoughts, my conscious thoughts, are involved with this huge emotional connection that is very uplifting. Not only as connecting with my greater community, which could be family, but it's also the work I'm doing and the friends that I'm meeting, and even students that I might have. Excuse me. Some that I've been tutoring, others that are adults and are taking a tarot class with me. But anyway, I really see this as such a joyful card, and I would say that really says a lot for my thoughts. My conscious thoughts at this time are so full of joy. I feel so fulfilled, more than I have in a long time. So, yay for this card. And what's going on in my subconscious? This is the fourth card. I would say that the King of Swords, again, another people card, really is going into my inner life. My sense, and we can look at this positively or negative, but I think for a long time in my kind of processing my reflection and what's going on in my psyche is very representative by the King of Swords. I think I am kind of driven by a psyche that has kind of a strong parental kind of image, like an internal father. I think I have this internal father, even since my father passed away about 7 years ago. I still think that he speaks through me in my dreams, and I say this with love and attention, that this whole sense of law and order has been really coming up for me in my dreams, and the subconscious card, this position, can oftentimes represent what's going on in our dreams, because it does reflect our psyche. So in my dreams, I've been trying to get work done. I think I have a duty to get something done. So it's not surprising to me that one of the answers and one of the things that's driving me at this point, coming from my subconscious, is the desire to get some word out on how to live one's life with integrity. That's one thought, and you might be thinking something else, but that's what's coming up for me right now. Going into the fifth card, which is called the passing away card, or can also be a past lesson learned, is the star card. It's the first major arcana card that came up in the reading. And as I always really try to reinforce to everyone, when one is doing a reading, it's really important to emphasize and build reading around any major arcana cards that show up. So the star card, in the position that it is I really think it's reminding me of who I am, that I am the star as represented in astrology by Aquarius. I have an Aquarius sun, and I think a lot of what I've been involved with, one thing is certainly not running around naked in the woods or by a stream. That's not how I look at the water carrier. But the image of a humanitarian, I think so much of my life, whether working in education or how I approach kind of my belief system and metaphysics, and particularly the work I've done in astrology, has been to illuminate other people's lives and how we can go forward with direction and purpose. And I love being able to illuminate people's essence and dwell on assets. It's interesting that the star, the big kind of star, looks almost like a sun, and that probably represents the number 10, with the other smaller stars, 7 of them, so that we have the number 17. So it's interesting to see the images on this card. And coming up in the future, the Hangman card. And my second and other major arcana card that came up in this reading. The Hangman is a really very interesting card, always has been. Some tarot meanings come up as the Hangman is about kind of being hung up and unable to surrender to the divine, which if you turn the card, you can see someone with a halo, and evidently definitely connected to his divinity. So if the Hangman is coming up in the future, and the message that's